What's up guys? Today in this video I wanted to talk about time versus success and how I was able to use it in order to get success fast, and of course without doing anything immoral or illegal or anything like that. So if you don't know my story already, I built a six-figure social media marketing agency in about 12 months from the day that I started to the day that I finished. Now I did spend about a month or two before that learning exactly what I'm doing. But I built a six-figure marketing agency in 12 months. So what I mean by six figures is $8,330 per month. So, and then about a year, so 2 years since I started, which is pretty much right now. I'm slightly below 2 years. I'm about 2 months before 2 years. And now I am currently at $80,000 per month. And keep in mind, guys, when I say $80,000, and for any online marketer out there, anytime they say that number, that's a really high number. Keep in mind that there's profit. So my profit margin is actually only like 30 to 40,000. So it's 40 to 50%. So just keep that in mind. And I'm also, that profit that I do make, I reinvest it back into my business, getting programs for me to increase my learning or new hires and stuff like that. But back to the topic of time versus success. I wanted to talk about this, and there's three main points that I want to talk about with this and share with you that allowed me to get success in that time frame. And some of you guys might be thinking that, oh, 12 months, that's not that fast. But in reality, it is fast when you compare it to a normal brick and mortar business. A lot of those people take 5 to 10 years to actually start seeing money like that. So I would consider it success fast. If you don't have to watch this video. But if you do feel like that is success pretty fast, you can go ahead and listen to my advice. And hopefully you can be able to implement some of these things faster than it took me and learn from my mistakes so that hopefully you can do it faster than me. I'm not saying you will though. So the first thing that I want to talk about was choosing long-term things over short-term gain. So always choosing the long-term versus the short-term. So when it comes to social media marketing, the business model that I do, an example of choosing a short-term gain versus a long-term gain might be taking on every client that you can possibly can versus only taking on high-quality clients within a specific niche. So if you take on any client that you possibly can, yes, you can gain more money in the short term, but for the long term, you'll have less money compared to as if you focus on higher quality clients and you had less of them. So that's an example of short-term versus long-term thinking. And that's one of the major mistakes that I see people making in this whole online entrepreneur industry. Everybody's trying to get rich quick. And if you want to build a long-term sustainable business, stop trying to get rich quick. Focus on your morals and really think about, is what you're doing morally right? And that's one of the things that's made me keep my success more, because I've seen a lot of people pass me up and actually get success faster than me, but then all of a sudden it all fell down because they weren't doing things that were moral or that were actually helping the customers that they were providing the services to or selling the services to. So always make sure your morals are in check, and make sure your customers and the people that you're selling to are getting a great experience so they come back later, or that's going to end up to bite you in the ass. So don't mess that part up. Make sure your customers are getting amazing results, and if it's going to take you longer to get where you want to be, that's perfectly fine, but you're going to have a lot more sustainable business. So by saying get success fast, I'm not saying as fast as possible. I'm saying as fast as possible while it being sustainable. That's a really big key here. So the first thing that I did in that journey of building my agency from 0 to 6 figures was I contemplated all my options and I chose the best option for me based on what I thought. So I learned pretty much every online business model there was, and I'm telling you my personal story so you can learn from it and hopefully see if you're on the right path or what path you should take if you're just getting started. And what I did personally at the beginning of my journey was I took into account every single type of business model. I weighed my options. So there's like e-commerce, there's Amazon, FBA, there's like writing an ebook or something like that, and affiliate marketing and doing a personal brand, all this different stuff. And after weighing all my options with those, the reason I decided to choose social media marketing is because I was in a 9-to-5 job at the time, and before that I was in college. I went to college for a semester, and that's when I dropped out because I realized I could probably make success a lot faster. And that's actually a good point here as well. So I dropped out of college about 2.5 years ago, a little bit over 2 years ago, but not 2.5, not quite 2.5 yet. And if I was to think about that, right now, I guess I would be a junior in college, and I'm already making way, way more. I'm making like 4 or 5 times more than what I would have if I had graduated as an engineer, which is my intended degree. So I definitely would consider this fast, and I'm so glad that I did it. But back to the point, contemplating the business options, the reason I decided to choose social media marketing is because what I figured out was I only needed 1 or 2 clients to be paying me every single month to have a sustainable income. And that's why I personally decided to go with it. And then on top of that, the other reason I chose to go with that business model is because I felt like it would give me the knowledge. If I decided to go into any of these business models later, it would give me the knowledge of marketing and social media marketing that I greatly needed, because I actually tried doing an e-commerce store. I tried doing a personal training business, and those all failed because I didn't even know how to do marketing and get clients in the first place. So that's where social media marketing was a really great start for me, and I weighed all my options there. And I did test a couple of things out for a couple months to see like what I personally enjoyed, and tested each one out for like maybe a couple weeks. I even tested out doing like being like a DJ, but that didn't really go so well. But I did create a cool mix if you ever are able to find that on the internet. So the first thing I did was contemplate the best options, the best business model for me, and I figured out, okay, what business model is going to be the fastest way for me to get where I currently am to my goal, which was 6 figures as soon as possible. And so I found out what that was, and I chose the business model that was going to get me there the fastest. So that's one of the first things that you have to get settled down, is what is going to be your vehicle to get you to where you are now to where you want to be. And you only should choose one. You shouldn't be trying to choose 10 different things, and I'll talk about this in my next point. So the second point that I have down is this thing that I realized that I was doing, but I started to realize after now I have a training program and I have you guys on YouTube, I started to learn a lot of other people don't know this and they don't do this. So I figured out this thing that I do, and it's kind of this weird thing. So I have my business model, and I am every single day, I'm constantly improving. And the way that my mind works is as long as I'm getting better every single day, I'm making progress towards my goal, I'm happy. And that's what the overall thing that I'm trying to achieve is. So I always do this thing every single day where I am testing what I'm doing, I am getting the feedback or seeing what the results are, and then I improve the thing that I'm doing for the next time. So let's say, for example, I am meeting with the client and then I mess it up somehow. I'm going to learn from that mistake, and then I'm going to fix it for the next time. A lot of people actually noticed is they'll keep making the same mistake over and over again. So there's kind of 2 ways that you can make and get success fast. One is by learning from other people, which has been a huge part to me being able to get success fast, so I don't make the mistakes that other people make. So a quote that I think I've heard is, what is it? The fool, like something like the wise man learns from the mistakes of others, a fool learns from his own mistakes, something along those lines. I don't know the exact thing, it sounds better than that, but that just gives the general point. And by being able to learn from other people's mistakes, I was able to do it a lot faster. And then the second part was, even if I did have to make my own mistakes, I would make sure to correct them like that. I would notice some of the mistakes right away. I'd always be looking at what can I be doing better and what can I be doing different. And I noticed by teaching a lot of people social media marketing, a lot of other people aren't thinking about this kind of thing 24/7. Like every time you make a call, if you're doing client outreach, if you make a call, you should be reaching out, and you don't get the result that you want, you should be changing that instantly. Not really instantly, you should take in multiple examples of the situation happening. Like if it happens over and over again, then you should fix it. But always be looking to improve every single day, and don't just expect to do the same thing over and over again and get success. And the part that comes into that as well is you can't expect success with this or any business model overnight. The way that it works is you put a lot of effort up front, and then you're not going to really see the results of that effort for a long period of time. So a lot of people forget that kind of aspect of it, and they expect to they're kind of in, a lot of people are in like the 9-to-5 job mindset where you do the work now and you're going to get paid in 2 weeks. That's not at all how it is when you're starting an online business or any kind of business at all. You're putting in the effort now to get paid maybe like 6 to 12 months down the line. because this knowledge that you're, like if you put in the effort to learn something new, it's not going to end up paying off for like 6 months from now. And that's one of the main reasons people fail, is because they start doing work, they put in some effort for a month, and then they don't see any results and they get like all upset. Well, you haven't given yourself enough time to see the results. You got to let the results compound enough, and you got to keep doing this business until you get success. And that's one of the main differences that was allowed me to get success fast. Focusing on this business only, not messing around with 10 other different businesses. So I was able to get really good at this business really fast. And to give you guys an example of that, how I'm always making things better, I'm always improving and I'm learning. To give you an example, I started off doing with my social media marketing agency. I did social media posts. So like I post on the business Facebook page and their Instagram page, and I did all of that kind of stuff. And what I came to learn is I also did a little bit of Facebook ads and tested that out. What I came to learn was almost all of the results that we were getting for the business and businesses was through the Facebook posts. So I stopped doing everything else and I just focused on only the Facebook posts. And I've done that tons and tons of time with my business, and I'm always thinking about how I can make it better and get better every single day. And as long as you're doing that, you're gonna get there. And I knew in my mind that I don't care if this takes me 1 year or 10 years, I'm gonna do this until it works, and I know it will work. You gotta have that kind of mindset going into it, because if you don't have that mindset of 100% it will work if I put in the work, then you're just gonna give up because you're doubting yourself from the very beginning. And that's a lot of mistake that I've seen people see. And so the third point that I have is that I stuck with it and I made it work no matter what. And that's kind of what I was talking about before. So the biggest thing that I think has separated me and allowed me to do it so fast is my consistency. To give you guys an example of this, if you guys look at my YouTube channel over the last year, I haven't probably missed a single week of posting a video. Whenever I started posting videos weekly, I haven't missed a weekly video in probably like at least 6 months. And that's the kind of consistency that I do. And I've seen people grow their YouTube channels like me. They do a YouTube channel, they go so hard and they grow to 10K subscribers so fast, and I would maybe be like a little bit jealous, and then they would burn themselves out, and then I would overtake them. And I'm telling you guys, it's all about that consistency. You see these other people, you might get jealous that they're growing faster than you, but like I said from the very beginning, you gotta be thinking about the long term, not the short term gain. That's the key here. And by being consistent, that's what's allowed me to gain success faster. It's like that rabbit versus the hare story, you know, where the turtle is like consistent, but the rabbit gets to the very end and then just stops right before the end. Be the tortoise and just be consistent, and you actually end up winning the race against those people that are trying to be rabbits, that are doing illegal stuff, immoral stuff, everything like that, because those people are going to end up blowing themselves up. So those are my main 3 points of advice. And the last thing that I wanted to ask you guys is, what would you guys like to see in one of my next videos? So to be honest, I have kind of ran out of ideas a little bit, but I wanted to ask you guys, like, what do you guys want to see in a video? And comment that below, and I'll take you guys' comments into consideration, maybe make a video about your specific point. Whatever kind of video idea gets the most likes on it, I'll make a video on. And one thing, kind of 2 bonus tips that I wanted to mention real quick is, one of these I learned from a YouTube channel that I used to watch all the time, and it's Rich Piana. Rest in peace, Rich Piana. I was into bodybuilding in the past. I still am into bodybuilding stuff. I just have some problems with my arms right now that I don't want to talk about because I don't want to make the video too long. But he would always talk about this thing where nothing is ever the best it can possibly be. Everything can always be made better. And I wanted to pass along that piece of knowledge with you. So once again, nothing is ever perfect. You should always be striving for perfection, but just know that nothing can ever be perfect, and nothing can ever be the best it can possibly be. Everything can always be improved, so always be working to improve every single day. So never mind, I'm gonna change that to the 1 bonus tip. But besides that, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and remember to comment below what kind of video you want to see next, and I hope to see you in the next one.